All right, welcome back, guys. This will be part 11 here. As we talked about in part 10, we've got these parts here that we're going to TIG weld up. And then I brought from the back this pallet of the Bogey wheels here. I need to finish disassembling them, and then each one of those swing arm needs to be completely welded up and around the axle. So, I've got a couple more parts there to do. And so we're going to get to it. I think I'm going to focus on getting some of these Bogey wheels apart first. All right, I got all these swing arms pulled apart. First pulled off all the Bogey wheels. So there they are. And if you're counting closely, there's 16 of them there. There's a total of 20. The other 4 are out back on the pallet, and I'll be moving those out back here shortly. Here's all the swing arm assemblies, completely pulled apart. And over here is all of the bushings and the rubber bushings, and then the steel tubing that goes in there, and that supports a bolt that goes through there. That's 3/4 inch DOM drawn over mandrel tubing, so there's no weld seam on the inside. It's completely smooth. So these are the 4 for the back. These are all the main swing arm ones. So I got all of those out. And now I can get ready to get to welding on these things. I do need to be a little bit careful as I weld these things though. And we'll zoom in here and use this as an example. This part of the shaft here, the Bogey wheel bearing slides onto that. So I need to be very careful not to get any weld spatter of any sort on that shaft. And you'll notice that there's 2 of them on each one. So I've got this tube. It's actually a chunk of 1.5 inch tube here. And I've machined it out so it doesn't have the weld seam on this end. I need to do the other end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that in half. And this slides on like that. And then I'm going to put the other one over on the other side. And then use a clamp to hold that into position while I'm welding it. And that'll keep all the weld spatter off of that bearing surface, keep it clean while we do that. Also, these things have been pretty dirty. So I think what I'm going to do is take them up to the sandblasting cabinet and just give them a real light dusting of sandblasting before I start welding, because there's just so much dirt, there's some rust, especially this one. Seems like maybe a little bit of water sat on there for some reason. So I want to get a good, clean that up. Welding requires relatively clean metal, so I want to clean those up and get a good weld on them. So we'll get ready to do that here next, prepare for welding. So here's one that I just finished sandblasting. That was actually the rusty one that I showed earlier. You can see how that really cleaned it up. The tubes that I machined the inside so they fit over the axles, and the clamp, quick clamp, that worked really well. And just to show the difference, this one right here has been sandblasted lightly where the welds are, and that one has not. So only that many more to go. So next I can get to welding this one. Alright, so here we have a swing arm that's been sandblasted and is ready for welding. Over here we've got 2 of these swing arms that have been welded but not ground off yet. There's still some spatter I want to clean up. And then over here, this one has been welded and ground, so it's complete. So we've got kind of some stages of work going on here. And these over here are, of course, the ones remaining to do yet. Just finished welding and grinding this last part that's associated with the suspension. If I look over here, it's a nice pallet full of suspension parts. Right up front here I have, here on the left, those are the 8 swing arms that the Bogey wheels mount to and the airbag shocks mount to. Over here we've got the 2 other swing arms. They go on the very back and hold the 2 Bogey wheels. up on the back for helping tensioning the track. This other long square piece there, that's for pushing on this arm for tensioning it, and that's the one we see over here on the welding stand, as well as all the grinding dust from this weekend's work here. And then those two assemblies right there hold the some caster wheels and also form the bracket for this tensioner to push against with an air cylinder. And then these are some end brackets that help with the spring tensioners that help it turn by pulling the front and back bogey wheels up a little bit. I've got a video on that from earlier. You can check that out. So pretty happy here. We've got a full pallet of parts, and now we've got a floor to sweep up. And then I can get this this pallet of parts over there with the rest of them. So that's going to be a wrap here for this weekend. I didn't get to these window frame things. They're definitely going to be last, but that'll be next time. So anyway, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any. Hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks.